Well, Frederica, we're hearing from our sources in Gaza and witnesses on the Israeli side that ground troops are on the move into Gaza itself. Now, we are hearing from witnesses on the Gaza side that they are heading into the Gaza Strip. Certainly, this is something that was expected, considering the amount of increased shelling and airstrikes we have seen over the past couple of hours. Now, the Israeli Defense Forces at this point not commenting either way, just saying that they will not comment on any kind of operations. So certainly this is the information we're getting from eyewitnesses who are watching troops moving into Gaza at this point. So it could well be that this ground operation has started. And as I say, over the past couple of hours we have seen an increased amount of airstrikes. There are still a lot of helicopters overhead and fighter jets, and we can still hear the drones trying to get information about what is going on. And the shelling has increased markedly over the past 3 hours, and flares being launched over Gaza City itself. We've seen certainly a marked increase in activity. Eyewitnesses on both sides of the border say it has started.
And so, Paula, just over an hour ago, we had been reporting and showing the new images of those flares underway. At the time, it was unconfirmed exactly why that would be taking place, but safe to presume at this point that that did sort of initiate the ground troops, giving them light to see exactly where to position themselves, how to move in, etc.
Frederica, let me bring this to you first. The Israeli Defense Forces have just confirmed that ground troops have gone into Gaza. Now, this is day 8 of this onslaught. There have been around about 500 airstrikes, and we now have confirmation from the Israeli military that they are inside Gaza. Now, certainly we're still hearing shelling from this side of the border going into Gaza. There's been a marked increase in shelling and in airstrikes in the past 3 hours. And this is something that we know that the tanks and the troops on the border with Gaza have been ready for about 3 days. They've just been waiting for the order from the Chief of Staff, from the Defence Minister, that in fact they do need to go into Gaza and Netanyahu.
And so, Paula, while some had believed that this was to be imminent because of this conflict continuing, there were others who said no way, Israel was not going to carry out a ground war, particularly because of what happened just a couple years ago involving Lebanon. Any way that you can kind of reveal to us how this decision may have been made, what the thinking from the Israeli Defense Fund Israeli Defense Forces just might have been?
Well, the whole point of this operation, according to the Israeli military, was to stop the rocket fire from Hamas and from other militant groups from Gaza into Israel. And certainly we haven't seen that decrease up until today. We've seen a marked drop in the amount of rockets getting into Israel today, but over the past few days it's been 70 a day. So that would certainly be a consideration for the Defence Minister and the Chief of Staff, the fact that they weren't managing to cut back on these rockets as much as they could do. But I can only speculate on what was the deciding factor. Certainly they would have seen how much they could target from the air. There's only so much they can do from the air, and if the rockets were still coming, as they were, they'd have maybe wanted to get in on the ground and be able to root out the remaining rocket launchers, the remaining rocket caches, and of course an awful lot of the Hamas militant leaders that they would want to get hold of are hiding underground. So obviously they've made the decision that they've done as much as they can solely from the air, and now they have to take over from the ground.